Hi, this video is for everyone who feels themselves stuck in self-improvement and doesn't really know how to get out. You probably don't really know what you're doing wrong, so in this video I'm going to briefly cover the mistakes you're making and how you can fix them, and I will also give you a method on how you can build your habits with a more solid foundation. I will give you a step-by-step guide on how you can really implement them and start doing this right after watching this video, so you will be able to build your habits more efficiently and with a really solid foundation. The first mistake you could be making is that you're changing on too much at once. And this happened to me, and I was always, every day I found a new video on self-improvement with a new habit to build, a new thing to do, and I forgot the ones I wanted to do yesterday, and so I didn't really do anything. The longest I meditated was probably for 3 days, because I did 20 other habits the next day, and this is really bad, but it's really common. And there's a logical, simple approach to how to fix this habit, and it's just only focus on one habit that you think is really important right now and really master this habit. This may sound kind of easy, and it seems to be very easy, but you will come across lots of videos and you will find yourself having lots of ideas on what to do, but I really urge you to not be tempted by doing all these things and really stick to your habit that is important to you. Another mistake you may be making is that you have a lack of motivation. This is really natural, and motivation is not really simple, and I think what's really important to know is that you don't have to be motivated to do your work. The work doesn't need to be hard. You need to make it easy. You need to make it just You may also have a lack of motivation because the longer you're doing the habits, the harder it gets over time. Try to change your identity, because when you're changing your identity, you automatically implement the new habits or get rid of habits. I've read this in the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, which is a really good book. And I've also found myself, I could really see myself in this, because I'm trying to really not eat any sweets, any cake, any sugar really, and my family kind of made fun of it, of how autistic I'm trying to avoid these things. This gives me this identity of I am this guy who doesn't really eat these unhealthy things, and that has really helped me avoiding that. For me it was really like, yeah, I am that guy, I'm not doing this, why do I need to do this? And this really helped me, and I think you should do that too. Changing your identity is really important. The secret to really achieving your goals is setting specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals. This is called the SMART goal setting framework, and this basically means that specific, I'll give you an example for this, is don't just say you'll exercise tomorrow, say you'll do, for example, 10 push-ups or run 5 kilometers. Measurable means that you can track what you did in kilometers, or track your 10, 20, 30, 500 push-ups. And what I really recommend with tracking these things could also be for meditating, just check that you did it. And I recommend you an app, I'm gonna link it in the description, that I'm using, And I found that tracking your habits with an application is really helpful, because you kind of don't want to lose your streak, and it's just really satisfying to see all these checks and how you've really just nice to see what you've already achieved, and so you don't really want to lose that, so you just keep on doing these things. Achievable means that the habits should be easy. So an example is with meditation. You should start by only doing 3 minutes, maybe 2 or even 1 minute. Just for the first few days or weeks, it's really important to just do the habit. It's not really important that the habit is very efficient. Like meditating for 1 minute is not very efficient, but it's important to build that habit to make it easy. And relevant is pretty self-explanatory. You just need to make sure the habit you're building is good for you and is good for you in the future. Time-bound means that you need to set the habit to a specific time. Say to yourself, on 4 o'clock I will go to the gym. Quick example, I'm gonna show you how you can really do this on the example meditation, and enable the check marks. And just for your next morning routine, for example, just write down wake up, then drink water, stand up, brush your teeth. Write down things you will do anyways, and then implement your habits into it. The next step is really important, and you really need to do this step by step. What you want to do is grab your phone, open the Notes app, it's already installed, and just enable the check boxes, and just write down, do this every evening before you go to sleep. Write down the date and the weekday, for example, and just write down things that you will do anyway the next day. And then two, for example, brushing your teeth, you add meditate afterwards. I think this is really the best method out there to start right away implementing the habits. And I've never really, since I've used this, I've never really seen myself forgetting habits. Of course, there can be days where you forget it, but overall I've been really consistent using this. To conclude, you're doing multiple mistakes, like changing too much at once, or you have no clear goals. The habits that you should be doing should be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, and this will enable you to really do them a lot more. I urge you to write a to-do list every evening before you go to bed. For me, this was very effective. The habits I recommend, there are multiple, like meditation, running, going to the gym, and specifically weightlifting, also stretching, reading, for example, self-improvement books. I will link you videos on these specific habits by good YouTubers I think are very valid, so you can learn more about them. If you enjoyed this video, maybe give me a subscribe, or like the video, share it with someone who you think really needs it. Stay hard.